Good evening, everybody. Welcome to That's a Great Question podcast.
Oh, God.
There we go.
Every time.
Every time. All right. Mr. Warrior in the Garden, how you doing?
I am doing better. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Mr. Spaz, how are you?
You know me, always sweeping the leg.
Sweep the leg. Yeah, I haven't been feeling good the last couple of days. And went for treatment today. Still don't feel that great, but may have find out why my throat is the way it is. It could be from one of the treatments I'm taking. Because there was another lady in the office today who was on the same treatment I have, who sounded worse than me. So they think it could be something that has to do with the immunotherapy that I'm on. We'll find out.
Well, hopefully you can find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Awesome.
April's making a doctor's appointment for next week for something or other. I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, let's say hello to some people in the chat. Reverend Rant is running a little late. He will be here as soon as he's done with Chris. So, Jim Bob, Castle Drummer, thank you for the cookie. Mr. Spaz, thank you for the can. Zombie 5, Sherry Pittsburgh. Road Dog, thank you for the cookie, Sherry. Appreciate that. Let's see, Slanty Chauffeur Bear. Band Mom's here. Crazy Chuck's here. And then we got Salty Nuts. What's happening? Anybody over on the YouTube D Live or the X Mayor? How you doing? Welcome. Hello, the B Lady. How you doing? Okay. So,
Where do we start?
I don't even know, Spaz. To tell you the truth, there's been so much shit happening that
It's like the news has diarrhea.
it's worse. Yeah, it is so bad. Warrior, do you want to start with anything? Kick us
No,
off here.
no, not really particularly. Just go ahead and start something. I'll catch up. I'll catch
Okay.
on. Yeah.
How about you, Spaz? Anything specific you'd like to start off with?
Oh. All right. Well, let me put my tinfoil hat on
Hmm.
and
Wait.
wonder if the FBI was actually in communication with this 20-year-old. Before being engaged by Secret Service agents.
Well, it sure certainly seems that way. There's-
'Cause they had that 2000 Mules cell phone data thing going on, and we're able to ping back a couple phones that I guess were visiting the home of what you call it. Yeah, I don't need to say his name.
yeah.
That guy, and then they would dip back to, I guess, close to FBI headquarters or something like that. I don't know. It's very interesting.
Now,
Were
Did
they
you-
meeting the kid, or were they meeting the parents, or
did you watch the hearing?
today?
No, the one with the Cheeto, whatever her
Yeah.
name is.
I watched as much as I could.
Yeah.
I've been working quite a bit lately, so
Okay.
I haven't watched anything
Little of it.
today except what I watched on the toilet, which I just absorb as much as I can, and then I
Makes sense.
here I am.
Well, she resigned today,
Mhm.
and I think there was a reason for that. Because the next thing that they were going to have to do was turn over her communications. Now it gives her time to pretty much Hillary Clinton everything as far as bleach baiting it. And they were talking about encrypted messaging, so on and so forth.
Yeah, apps on her personal phone,
Yeah,
where she said she communicated with other, because they couldn't put the apps on their government phones, so they put them on their personal phones to go
Idiots.
back and forth.
Idiots.
That is kind of odd. And then wait, didn't this failed roofer guy have the same kind of apps on his phone?
yes.
Imagine that. It's like,
So it does look like literally the FBI, the Secret Service, and whoever was involved with this kid was a coordinated effort. I don't think there's anybody can doubt that now. Because with the hearing today, with the local law enforcement guys, there's no way on God's green earth that they couldn't have known that guy was there. There were people inside the building where that guy was crawling around on the roof.
Yeah.
They didn't hear him.
Right. On a tin roof.
Yeah, on a metal roof.
Yeah. What is that? A cat? Blink, 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 blink.
It's almost like they're messing with our intelligence. You're gonna believe what we tell you.
It's so stupid.
yeah, it's almost like how Jeffrey Epstein was Epstein, right?
Exactly.
I mean, all these things just line up, and then
Yeah, perfectly. It's like, oh,
he
what
killed
a
himself.
coincidence.
he killed himself, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because we already circled back to that. Like Trump shot himself, or something.
Right.
It's
Well, you know what?
crazy.
The last 10 days have been, as Mark said over there in the foxhole, so many distractions. the whole Joe Biden thing. They're saying that Joe Biden's dead. But he's going to come out tonight or tomorrow and make a speech.
Praise Jesus, he's alive.
He's alive. Who's it? Charlie Kirk.
Or should it be like, it's alive, it's alive?
Or the mask is.
Something is. How they threw out Kamala. They threw Kamala out. Straight out. Like a dart. And everybody accepted it. Nobody asked a fucking question.
Nope.
Kamala is now the Democratic nominee.
I don't. Who voted for that?
Who voted for that?
What convention did they have to delegate put the delegations and all the votes and stuff like that? People going, yes, this is who we want. Woo! Where is that? Where's
There was no convention.
Where is all the democracy that these people scream about so much? Where is it?
It's gone.
It's that $100 million that just.
Okay,
Yeah,
look.
$100 million by it though. What is that?
There was a guy, a donor, who donated $90 million. Okay? So what he did was he put that $90 million in an escrow account, and then the campaign draws on that $90 million. As long as the donor is happy, they can draw on that $90 million. When he said he wanted Joe Biden to step down, he took that $90 million out of escrow. Everybody heard that his donors were backing off. Well, that's what happened. So now Joe Biden backed down. All of a sudden, Kamala Harris made $81 million. Like that. You see, we're not as stupid as we look or sound. That money was already there.
It couldn't be like that James O'Keefe thing where he went through the list of Democratic donors and like knocked on their door and said, "Did you donate this much?" And they go, "Fuck no."
Yeah.
It couldn't be like that, could it?
Could it? Yeah, well, yeah, it could be. But these people,
Wow, she has.
what was it? Chuck Schumer said today.
$80 a day. Wow.
That guy needs to
Yeah,
find
Chuck Schumer said today
a
in
long
his
flight of
speech,
steps, man.
all of those grassroots donations. Where Kamala Harris had a 0.5% support. Now she has $81 million in grassroots. Where the fuck did that come from?
$81 million, 81 million votes. I don't know. Call me a conspiracy theorist.
Remember that meme where they got that NPC and they open up the back of his head and they
Yes.
take out the Biden chip.
Yeah.
And they put in the Kamala chip. And they're like, yay, Kamala! It's like it really is just like that.
People don't understand that the Democrat Party in this country has subverted democracy
So bad.
so badly
So bad.
that they just
All
factually
fired.
they told you you're not voting for Joe Biden. The person that you picked, you're gonna vote for Kamala Harris.
They just told all the Democrats that your vote doesn't count.
That's right. And Donald Trump is the one who's a threat to democracy.
Right. Yeah, of course, right.
Holy shit.
Their democracy, right?
Oh, is it different?
Democracy.
Oh, you mean like, but we don't have to answer your questions. We don't have to go to your subpoenas kind of thing. But when somebody else says that, well, they actually go to jail. They're in jail.
Yeah.
And then when a congressman wants to go see that individual in jail, well, he can't because he has to go through the what you call the bureaucratic roller pin and get squeezed through that way, if
Right.
ever at all. Is that what you mean?
Something like that.
I thought it was the same for everybody. Nobody's above the law, I keep hearing.
Well, that's just not true. You know, Um, that's exactly right. Duppy says that they did that to Bernie. That's exactly what they did to Bernie. To Bernie Sanders, they just end run him.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like Nancy
Said
Pelosi
here's a
did to those
house.
kids?
Here's
Yeah.
another house in the Hamptons. Here you go.
She just elbowed him away. Get away from me.
Oh, this is so much fun to watch.
Yeah, but you know what? It's coming way too quickly. It's too fast
Now,
to keep up with.
nope. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I want the chaos. Let's let it all ensue. Let's just open the floodgates and rip the Band-Aid off, or
It
whatever
has
we
to
use,
now.
and
Yes.
just let's just go forth and see what happens. Right?
It has to.
See who sinks and see who swims.
Nothing's going to stop this. There's too many holes in the dam.
So, do you think that Kamala running is going to hurt Trump?
Well, I mean, if she cackles too much, probably. Like, I don't know, but no, it's not going to hurt him at all.
I'll begin to worry when she gets down on her knees in front of him. Then I will start worrying. I'll start worrying then.
That's an issue. Yeah.
But it's apparently a position she's very comfortable with.
Obviously. And already, Montel Williams already has come out and said, "Don't talk to me about Kamala. I'm not going to answer any questions." Because everybody's saying that she has an exemplary record to run on, but nobody can find the record. I don't know what the exemplary record is.
Yeah,
I think that record had the song OPP on it.
You down with OPP?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me. Yeah, that's right. Let's see here. She was supposed to be doing the Border Czar. Is that correct? I think she was deemed that title as well. And
Yeah.
we all know how well that's going. So that's a start, I guess. It's a record.
Well, people in California don't like her.
No one likes her.
Yeah, no one really likes her, except for these left-wing whack jobs that just had democracy pulled out from under them. Because now the Harry Sissons of the internet are all like, you're voting for Kamala Harris or you're voting for Trump. I'm putting my support 100% behind Kamala Harris. Why? Well, because you were told to.
Because she's blue. Yeah, she's a black woman. Yeah, she's
not a black woman.
Yeah. No.
There's black people all over TikTok that are saying, if you're thinking that she's a black woman, you are sorely mistaken.
No, she's definitely not black.
No.
Hey, do you remember when she was running for president?
Yes.
You remember she was up on stage? She was up on stage and she called Joe Biden a racist?
Yeah.
You remember that? Those were great times, man.
Those were great times.
Oh, politics are fun.
To me, it was just embarrassing when I watched Joe Biden put a letter out saying he resigned. And then everybody just started following Kamala Harris. I was like, are you guys fucking stupid? Are you stupid? You that stupid?
Yes. Yes, they are.
What's that?
Good Lord.
A carrot on the string, right? The carrot on the string.
Well, it's more.
The lady says, Kamala is not black. I am black. And she is insulting us by saying that.
Yeah.
She's Indian. She's not African. She's Indian and Jamaican. So how does she qualify to be black? Because she has dark skin?
Well, as far as I know, if you wake up one day and you feel like you're something you're not, where you were born with, you can identify that, right? So I can wake up tomorrow and be a black lesbian, trans, it, she, thee, them, and be fine with it because you have to call me that now. That's kind of where,
Mm.
but that's just kind of a it's something that I've noticed that if people can go and identify with them with whatever they want to identify with, it's fine now, right? It's cool. It's just totally you can be whatever you say. I'm a unicorn right now, and that's it. You guys now, please address me as unicorn. That's it.
I remember when we
It's just
used
so
to do
stupid.
that. We
I
used to
remember
do
when I was
that like
5, I didn't want to be a unicorn.
5 years. Yeah, 5, 7 years old. You
7 years old, I thought
pretend,
it was Tyrannosaurus Rex.
right? I'm Batman. I'm an eagle. I'm a bird. I'm a whatever the fuck I want to imagine at this point. And then puberty hits, right? And then you get thrown into who you are. Oh,
That's
I'm
right.
growing hair. Oh, that's must be who I am. Yeah, because I mean, if you're over 20 and you're still going, I'm a fucking unicorn. Yeah, I'm.
Yeah, we got problems here, boy.
Somebody hasn't advanced to the game yet.
Oh,
You
she
know?
identifies as black. I got it. I got it. She also has a she has a tie to dinosaurs. They can trace her family back to dinosaurs. I heard sort of a meme. Yeah, because her dinosaur name was Suck a Lot of Cocks.
Gotcha. That
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
and it makes I thought it made sense.
Yeah. The
So-
jaw probably dropped and extended out a
It
little
opened
bit.
up real wide.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Holy crap.
wow!
Hey, it happens. What can you do?
I did not see that coming.
Thanks, Brain Pod. Appreciate it.
Do not come.
Do not come. Do not come.
Yeah,
The buses are yellow, and of course, I love the yellow buses because of the wheels on it. They go round and round.
they go round and round. Oh my God!
God, that was jeez.
Oh my!
And I don't know if I heard this right, but Donald Trump refused to debate Kamala Harris until she's officially the nominee of the Democrat Party.
Okay,
I think that's what he said today.
things are getting saucy.
Yeah, didn't he do
Yeah.
a lawsuit against her as well?
That I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
I think I heard there was a lawsuit against, because she's not exactly rightfully nominated. So, how can they do that switcheroo legally, kind of thing?
Well, I hope he sues the shit out of him just to tie him up in court. So, what's up, Rev?
What is going on, man? A busy evening for me. How's it going, guys?
Good, good.
How are you?
Guys, gals, and all you in betweens in the chats too.
Castle Drummer put that anchor baby thing in there in the chat. They should seriously look into that because the 14th Amendment disqualifies her from becoming president. Should have disqualified her from becoming vice president
Should have, but here we are.
because one of her parents were not a natural born citizen.
You would think.
Doesn't matter that she was born here. Her parents were natural born citizens. But who the fuck knows?
Yeah,
Anyway, go ahead and finish, Spaz.
yeah. Well, we thought it wasn't a cool thing to do. When you get over here and you're like, tag. We're on base. We're safe. We're a citizen now, and apparently we're seeing the same thing going on. Isn't that funny that she's the border czar and this stuff's, I wonder, we see how many people are crossing the border. I wonder how many people are having babies here since they crossed the border.
And they're citizens. But they're not supposed to be.
I thought veterans were citizens. Shouldn't we take care of them first?
You think so?
Should.
So I have somebody who is one of my regulars in my chats who goes by the name Jus Sanguinis, Jus Sanguinis, and that translates to the law of blood.
Yeah, I was just.
And what that means is that exactly what we're talking about, and what our Constitution should be predicated on is that you have to be born to American citizen parents to be an American citizen. Not even just to serve in office or anything else, but literally to be an American citizen. Even if you're born in Russia or anywhere else, if you're born to American citizen parents, then you're an American citizen.
But it doesn't matter if you were born here in the United States. If your parents, both your parents, aren't natural citizens, you're not a citizen.
Yep.
That's the verbiage of the 14th Amendment.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Right.
That's the point. But they added just solace. They added just solace afterwards, and that's where they're trying to push the law of soil. If you're born on American soil, that makes you an American citizen. I disagree with that.
So do I. I don't think that should be it. That should be interpreted that way.
Right. Well, we know that, for years and years we have tolerated. We have been taught tolerance. You need to tolerate this. These people don't think like you, agree with you, or like anything that you do, so you have to tolerate them, which has been our script. We've bent our knee to our enemies instead of saying, no, you're going to come in here and follow our rules. And tolerance is, well, it's not really a moral value because we keep tolerating immoral acts and accepting justification for immoral acts while overlooking the fact that it's still an immoral act. And now we've fallen down the road that we've fallen down. And and I know everybody here is going to agree with me. I'm preaching to the choir that it's time to pay attention and get it right again.
Well, go ahead, Spence.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of, like, remember last year when they were like, shit, what were they doing? Oh, certifying the election. Boy, I think that's going to be a real interesting time this year. Even if we get there,
If we get there, yeah.
I got a point to make about that, if you don't mind me jumping in. The whole certifying the election. You see a lot of to-do being made about the idea of alternate electorates. Oh my God, we're going to have to arrest all of them. They're trying to overthrow the government by performing alternate electorates. That's actually part of the process. If there are...
It's constitutional.
Right. If there is a challenge, and this is where Pence dropped the ball that most people don't even understand. They know that he should have challenged it, but they didn't know what the process was. And the process is that there should have been two delegations put forward. The one that says that we're going to certify the election as is, and the other one that says, well, no, here's our argument. And they have a written legal argument on why the election should be challenged and their version of the electorate should be proffered instead. And everybody has ignored, not even violated the process, just completely ignored it. And most Americans don't know that actually is the process. And what we're talking about here is not an overthrow, but instead a legal challenge that should have been accepted and judged and opinioned, by the way, by the Supreme Court. That's the whole purpose of the Supreme Court, is to balance the other two branches of government.
And I'm not sure, Rev, maybe if it's in the Constitution proper or it's in the Federalist Papers, where exactly they say that you have to have a certain slate of electors and then a certain slate of alternate electors, that the primaries can be tossed out for the alternates at any given time. I'm not sure if that's in the Constitution
I forget. No,
I
it's,
don't know.
I forget what article off the top of my head, but I mean, anybody that wants to take a minute can look.
But what
But-
I'm saying is they tried to make, like you're saying, the certification of an election ceremonial instead of a
Right.
constitutional requirement.
Right, and that's really. I mean, you're hitting the head right on the nail as to my point and issue with all of this is that our entire system. I mean, first and foremost, I want everybody to understand that the Constitution is a set of laws. It is a set of laws. We are a nation of laws, and the Constitution is a set of laws. And our entire system, whether at the federal level or at each state level, because each state has its own constitution, a set of laws, and the entire system from top to bottom was designed to be the adversarial process. We're supposed to challenge every step of the way, by argument, not by, well, sometimes physical challenge. That's what the Second Amendment is for. But if somebody has a challenge to the process, it's supposed to be heard as long as it can be legitimized and backed up, as long
Thank
as
you, Chauncey.
there's evidentiary support and two people bring it forward in the Senate, then it should be challenged. And we have ignored and sidestepped those processes. And I actually think that it would have been an amazing constitutional exercise for all of America to have gone through that challenge process, because most people have no idea that it even exists.
Exactly. Chopsy, TMC, is that right? Yeah. Says it's called the Electoral Count Act. So they, okay. Thank you for that. You'd be surprised how many people think that they can just do away with the Electoral College and the slates of electors for each state and then win on the popular vote. And if you don't believe me, all you have to do is go onto TikTok and watch some of these live streams. There are people who believe that Hillary Clinton, because she won the popular vote, should have been president. I'm not lying.
Here's the thing about this, and I don't mean to keep talking over you guys. I'm sure you got stuff to contribute to, but if we were to go by the popular vote, as these idiots keep talking about, we would negate all of states' rights and individuality. Entire state sovereignty would be gone within the United States of America. And the reason I feel it's important to talk about this and to go ahead and jump on this is because this is something that we have to pay attention to, because this is exactly what the left wants. They want to take away individual states. They want one nation state with no individual rights, with no state rights, none of that. That's part of the reason a lot of people don't understand this, is that they're so upset about Roe versus Wade, is because Roe versus Wade being sent back to the states, it's not just the abortion issue, it's the fact that we sent this power and control back to the states. We defederalized and taken power back from the federal government and given it back to the states, when the left wants to do exactly the opposite. They want to subvert all of the power from the states to the federal government, and it's walking backwards their process of fascistic control, while they run around calling everybody else, "Oh my God, you're all fascists! You're all the fascists, you big meanies!"
Yeah.
And the reality is that's exactly what they're trying to do. And I think that we need everybody to be aware of that. That's the thing. Be aware of that. There's a lot more than the face of the issue itself. Is that they want to completely take away all individual states' rights and sovereignties.
Exactly. You ever notice one of the things that the Jean Pierre, the Van Damme, whatever the fuck her name is, the Raggedy Ann,
Yeah.
She always says that Donald Trump is going to take away, or he's trying to take away, your rights for an abortion. But doesn't she realize that now lies with the states. It doesn't lie with the federal government. So how can Donald Trump take it away when he has no control over states' issues?
All they have is to tell the lies. Extreme Hakeem did the same thing. Oh my God, no, the three MAGA Republicans, they hurt my feelings once again, and I had to touch my butthole and cry. That's my direct impression of him, by the way.
I just think it's incredibly funny that
they
people
don't
believe this shit.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is that the terrorists, the Democrat terrorist network, and they absolutely are. They're trying to destroy everything that the United States is. They are a terrorist network. Extreme Hakeem is a terrorist, and I don't give a shit who gets mad at me for saying it. It's facts, and they know they're lying. This isn't stupid. This is too stupid to be stupid. They know they're lying. They're putting on this whole show, telling all these stories. But here's the great part about it, and I want everybody to cheer for this is their desperation. You're watching right now, the Democrat terrorist network is failing, and you're watching their last desperate acts.
I think so. I mean, you guys know I've been saying that for a long time.
So,
Good.
yeah, this is like them castling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it is. Anything you want to throw in there, Warrior?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still trying to catch my breath over here. I'm still trying to breathe.
I know you still sound very stuffed up.
I the thing is that today they both would pop up and then they opened up, and I was just like,
That's a great feeling.
It's a beautiful feeling. But then about 30 minutes before the show started, it just kind of I hear this closed up on me, and I'm going, I don't have any phlegm, I'm not snotty, just it's inflated. So I'm like, oh, great.
He's got Corona.
I feel like I sort back and breathe with my mouth over here. But I like the stairs.
You know what? I mean, anytime you feel like you want to go and go relax, just say goodbye. I got no problem.
I'm gonna stick it out with you guys for a little bit longer.
Okay. All right. I don't want to keep you. If you of all people know when you don't feel good, you don't feel good.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I'm all right.
Okay. Good. Anyway, the Democrat Party in this country, like Rev said, is lying. But how is it possible that the amount of people believing these lies, just unabashedly, just believing it? Nobody questioned Kamala Harris, who couldn't get 0.5% running for president, getting $80 million in small donations. Nobody questioned it. Well, I'm not talking about us. We question everything.
I know why. I was just trying to.
Oh, go ahead, please. Tell me.
Because Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing.
Yes, it is. You're right.
Did you hear about what they're trying to do right now? They're trying to take Biden's war chest and give it to Cackler.
Well, they already did.
No, it's being challenged.
They gave her $80 million of it.
No. Well, it's 91.5 million was the total. But they're challenging it because here's the thing: is one, there's no legal precedent or law that allows them to just take someone else's campaign chest. That's a pretty big thing in the SEC. And then the other part of it is that all of those people invested directly, and this is going to be the argument in the court about this, is all of those people invested directly in a specific product. If you buy an iPad, they're not allowed to send you, the Windows tablet in place of the iPad. They have to refund your money. And if you want to go ahead and buy the Windows tablet, then you're free to go ahead and buy the Windows tablet, but you don't get the iPad anymore.
Yeah.
And
Let's see what happens.
that's the fiduciary issue. And when it comes to law, and particularly dealing with civil law and civil law in the SEC, everything that has to do with any kind of fiduciary responsibility, because there's such an overlap in corporations and everything else that has to do with all of this, that the rules on fiduciary responsibility and liability are very specific, very, very specific.
Well, the sad part about that is you have to find a nonpartisan judge
Well,
to make
that
a ruling. And in this country, it's few and far between.
that is, you're absolutely right. That is the other question: is this going to be treated justly, or is it going to be treated politically?
It's going to be treated politically because that's all this country is now, are a bunch of politicians doing what they got to do. They don't
Judges
care
are
about us.
And that's the thing. I see it. I mean, even in my own county, sometimes I go to the courthouse and just sit in on hearings and stuff. And it's, since I've become like truly politically awake, and I don't mean just like to my opinions, but to the whole political machine. And I watch what these judges do. It actually astounds me how much their own politics and views are brought into the courtroom. It's not legislatively clean, even in the slightest. And the reality is that it's on both sides of the fence.
Well, you look at what they say about the Supreme Court. They said that they're going to expand the Supreme Court to get more liberal judges.
Right.
Now, what difference does it make if the judges are liberal or conservative? The Supreme Court is to rule by law, by the Constitution. Therefore, it shouldn't matter. So, by default, they're telling you the highest court in the land is biased. How am I supposed to have faith in any of the lower courts if the highest court is biased? It's simple. Break it down into simplistics and
Right.
think about it for a second.
I agree wholeheartedly, my friend.
Yep.
I'm a fan of law and justice. I'm a fan of the idea that we got together and made a set of rules, and that we should be getting together and setting the rules. And I mean, we as a nation, not just our legislators, although we send them up there to represent us, and they should be representing us. But I mean, this is the foundation of everything that is wrong with this nation is our representatives don't represent us, and therefore are not passing laws and creating legislation that is representative of what the people want for the future of this nation, and or what is best for the future of this nation. And B, that we're not incorporated in the process in the slightest. And then C, that none of these people are actual true priests of the Constitution, which is what you would expect these people to be.
Yeah. Hey, Spaz,
Yes.
you made a comment up there. It says
Yeah.
live only work for so long they needed a way out.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to comment on your comment.
Okay.
The National Socialist German Workers' Party was based on lies. The entire political movement was based on lies. And we still have the same people from the 1920s who were formulating those lies, still in projecting them today. Meaning the Nazi Party was based on lies.
Yep.
Okay? So
Manipulation.
the same people who are running the media today telling you that Kamala Harris got $81 million in grassroots donations are the same people that were telling you socialism under Adolf Hitler was a good thing. The lies are going to be told, and they're going to keep being told until we convince these brain dead fucking people to stop believing everything they hear, to question everything.
But that's hard. I mean, oh my God. I
It's,
got to think about things,
yeah,
like all the things. Oh my God.
it's, oh my God. Yeah. It's something that,
You can't give me the news in 3 minutes. Oh my god!
It's not
Oh my God.
easy.
it's too much.
But yeah, lies. Well, they're going to keep telling them as long as they're working, I guess. And
Yeah.
When they stop working, well, now we need new lies, and I think that's where all these distractions come in. They're just trying to throw lies up against the wall. Which one's going to stick? Which one
Right.
can we get? Can we get? Can we get the chip heads to rally behind?
But what you just said is the accurate statement. They're going to keep telling the lies until they work. And if they don't work, they're just going to tell more lies
We need new ones, yeah.
to see which one sticks. You absolutely swept and put up in a nice little trash can the leg right there, because that's the way that it is. Right?
You mean a military alarm clock?
Basically. Yeah.
Trash can. Yeah.
Trash can. Beanie bean. Look at Bob Menendez. Bob Menendez got convicted of using his office for bribery. A senator. Today he made the announcement. That was 2 weeks ago. Today he made the announcement he's going to resign in a month. What? What do you mean a month?
Well,
Can't
he's got to
just-
hurry up and get a little money on the way out.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Make
Smash a
last
few
minute deals.
phones. Yeah. Burn some
In
papers.
a month?
Isn't that ridiculous?
Why isn't the sergeant of arms like to his office escorting him off the premises?
I don't know. But basically, Menendez lied. And then when he got caught lying, he lied again. And now that he was convicted of lying and bribery, he's going to be a senator for another month and a half. Or until we forget and he just doesn't resign at all.
Memory hold. It's another
Yeah.
trick.
Exactly. It's almost, when I look at these people with the TDS, with the Trump derangement syndrome, and they'll say, I will vote for anybody but Donald Trump. I kind of feel sorry for them. I feel sorry that they cannot see the process playing out in front of them.
You mean
You know what I mean?
the ladies on The View?
Yes.
What did Whoopi say? She said, even if Biden's in a coma, she'll vote for him over Trump.
Exactly.
But what if he's dead?
The reality is that it's ego. They're more impressed with their own ego than they are with the future of this nation. These are the same people that would let their own homes burn to the ground rather than admit that they were wrong about something. Like if admitting they were wrong could allow the firemen to come in and save their home, they would rather let their home burn.
Unbelievable.
Don't you remember living like that? It was almost agony. Look, man, I used to be a good liar. I used to be a really good liar. And it was like part agony. It's not like you ever really got away with anything. It's just you haven't got caught yet. kind of
You have to
thing.
keep,
Yeah.
you have to keep working to stave it off and stave
Right,
it
so-
off and stave
so
it
you all-
off.
You're always looking. You're always looking. You're always wondering, did it get me? Did they know? Did they know what?
Yeah.
And
And then you got to remember everything.
and yeah, I'm just saying, once you start telling the truth and watching other people, you realize you used to be there, and
But that's
Now
what
you're
the
not.
book of John means when it says, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free."
mhm,
When you start getting honest with the world and with yourself, then you're not entrapped by your own bullshit. You don't have to sit and remember. You have the freedom. You have the ability to find joy. Most of these people that are so angry in the world are so angry because they can't figure out how to let go of their garbage.
Yeah.
it's another reason why they pretend.
Yep.
They don't identify. They
I pretend to be. We literally just talked about that on Chris's World. I pretend to be. If you say I identify as, you're saying I pretend to be, because no matter what you are, what the good Lord has made you, you can chop yourself up into the tiniest bits in the world. You can throw yourself in a wood chipper, and there are some people out there who would be willing to help you with that endeavor. But at the end, the bits that come out the other end are still going to be what God created, just in smaller pieces.
Yep. Yeah. These criminals.
Yes,
Yes,
think-
Mark.
I think we're watching the table being flipped right now.
You were reading the same comment.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in on it. Yeah,
We are watching the table being flipped, I think.
Well, they'll dump the chessboard on the floor rather than admit they lost the game. That's
Yeah, but
And-
wouldn't it be better for the country and for the people if people can just admit it? Okay, Trump
Sure.
is not a great person. Okay, he's not a great person. He has good policies, and he's good for the country.
right.
If that's what you think,
But these people
you
don't
think-
care about what's good for the country. That's the
if you
problem.
think Trump is a great person and he's doing great for the country, admit it. That's what you think. If you think he's some kind of whatever, but put your country before your party. And a lot of people are putting their party before their country. They'd rather see the table flipped than to have unity or harmony in the country.
They would rather see this nation burnt down in civil war.
Yes. And I feel sorry for those people because those are the ones who are going to be wandering the streets going, how did this happen? When they're the ones who did it. Yes.
I got a good question.
Give it to me.
How many here have finished a complete game of Monopoly? All the way to the end. There's only one person left with all the money.
Yeah,
It's a hard game to play, isn't it?
it is. Takes a long time.
And you wonder why people flip it or give up.
Yep. There's too many variables.
That's what makes it exciting.
And yeah, well, yeah, of course. But you eventually somebody will end up with everything. And if you take that analogy that you're saying about Monopoly, put it to today's politics.
Exactly.
Yep. I knew that's where you were going.
I don't try to lead people on, but I lead people on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh. Well, we've been on it for an hour already.
Well, you play that like the loudest intro on Foxhole
Yes.
for like 5 minutes or something. So
Yeah, but we start at 6 o'clock. I don't stop. I don't I don't put the intro on at 6. I put it on at 5:55, and then at 6 o'clock the show starts. So I don't know what time it is right now.
I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah, 8:55. Yeah, or I'm sorry, 6:55. Yeah,
Hey, Pete,
I
I'm
want
gonna
to start the
bounce
show
out.
at 6.
Okay.
You know what?
I'm gonna bounce out. I gotta deal
Okay.
with this here again. I do apologize, but
Absolutely.
I'll see you guys later. Have a good
Thank
night.
you for coming. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Feel
guys. Be
better.
well. As soon as I get past, as soon as I think when fall hits, maybe our first first freeze, that's when it'll be cleared up. So
Okay.
fun summertime.
We'll try to catch you on Thursday.
Okay. Yep.
If you're up to it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right. We'll see you later.
Yeah, guys, appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.
Night, sir.
Thank you, P-Quest. Yeah, thank you guys for all hanging out. I appreciate it. And thank you for all the cookies and cans and stuff. I greatly appreciate that. Okay, so we'll maybe go for about another half an hour. I think I got in me, if that's okay.
It's your world. I just live in it, my friend.
Yeah, when you texted me yesterday, I was in bad shape.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wasn't in good shape at all.
I'm glad to see you're doing better.
Yeah, I had texted Spaz, said I got a big week of all this bullshit, fucking treatment shit going on.
Yeah, what did I say to you? You know, since we're checking presidents, how are you, right?
Yeah. Let me see what you said.
Something like that.
He said, I'm not, said, hey, are you good all over? Are you good over there? You know, since we're checking to see if presidents are alive. Yeah.
I just had to.
Yeah. Thank you, Pam, for the shades. Yeah, it's just, I have a hard time sometimes looking at what people are consuming and believing what they're saying is it, they think it's the truth, or they use it to come at us with it. It's very sad, in my opinion. And I didn't catch anything that you guys did on Chris's world there, Rev. But if you have something that you'd like to talk about, by all means, pick a topic and speak on it.
Well, I would take a quick minute and remind everybody that tomorrow night we have Jennifer Pippin from Moms for Liberty. And for those of you who don't know who Moms for Liberty is, go look them up. Go look them up, because you want some people that are absolute firecrackers in the conservative movement. It's not just that they formed to protect children, all the giving the porn to children and calling parents terrorists at the school board meetings, all of that stuff. They formed to protect that and to create, not just a political organization, but a legal organization. These people are they're moving stuff forward in the courtrooms as well as, in the political world. And so I think that anybody that has a notion to anything that you could do to support them, share out any of their notifications or topics, because we have a lot of issues like right here in Florida. And I think, we were talking a little bit earlier about, this argument over abortion. Oh my God, they're trying to take away women's rights, and they're taking away women's health and all this other shit. Bullshit, complete bullshit. It's astounding how much these people lie. The abortion issue was passed back to the states. Just like all this other stuff we talked about. They're mad because it got passed back to the states, but also understand that the majority of our politicians, especially on the left, are getting their big donations from Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson,
That's right.
Bayer, You get what I'm saying? And these people are profiting hugely off of stem cells, which they get from aborted babies. Everybody who enjoyed that mRNA shot had stem cell in it. That's part of what helped create it. So yeah, this is an industry that they're promoting. It's not just the health issue, but here's the thing too: is that in a lot of states, there's legislation going on right now over this specific issue. And even for me, right here in Florida, they're trying to pass a bill now that they're ultimately trying to push late term abortion. And the problem is that they're advertising about it. You know, it's the fuzzy kittens and babies game again. You know, the fuzzy kittens and baby bill that has nothing to do with fuzzy kittens and babies in the bill. It's just what they named it. And it's the same thing that they're playing now. They're trying to say, well, you know, this abortion law that we're trying to pass, it's such a bipartisan, middle of the road agreement. But anybody who, you know, flips the pages and opens it up realizes, no, the hell it's not.
That's right.
This is a death sentence and a murder order. Because the other thing that we have to remember, and if anybody disagrees with me, then so be it. But murder, biblically defined, is the taking of innocent life.
Mm.
The taking of innocent life. And I want to stress that innocent life. It's not like when we become adults, we've had a chance to sin, we've had a chance to commit crimes, to commit, a blood debt against someone else, and then have to owe that debt. Therefore, our life is forfeit. We're talking about innocent life. We're talking about a life that has yet to have committed even the most simplest of sins. So we're talking about murder, and they try to, pass this language off as if it's some sort of, nonchalant thing. Like this is just something that doesn't have any value. And that's not the truth, because the moment of conception is the moment of life. And anybody can try to argue whatever they want, but when you get in the science books say the same thing. If we're talking about frog eggs or squirrel nuts or anything else, science clearly agrees that the moment of conception is the moment of life. And yet now when we talk about humans, it's somehow a completely different argument. And I'm screaming bullshit on that, because God has given us the rules, and he's given it to us as examples all around us, because we're talking about frogs, squirrels, alligators, the neighbor's chickens, whatever. The moment of conception is there for us to see. Life is there for us to see. So when they put forth these arguments, when they try to put forth this language, they're trying to tell you, and this is really the worst part in all this, they're trying to tell you that life has no value.
Exactly. It's exactly what they're telling you. Life has no value. And they're happy to tell you that.
Right. And we have to push back on that, because life has to have value. The strength, and this is what I say for those of you that come to my show, you know this is going to be, I'm singing to the choir on this, but we have to value life. I mean, we have to value each other so that we can have value in ourselves, and that we have and hold our value before God. But the bigger picture in all of this is the way to defeat everything that we have going on, all of it, all of this social disarray, all of this evil politics that's trying to push against us. The greatest way that we can literally defeat it once and for all is one simple act: unity. Value each other. This commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you, is more than just about loving each other. It's the fact that when we hold the bonds of love, the strength, the connection, the value of each other, the value of life, when we hold that sacred and sovereign, then we stand as a unified people. And when we stand as a unified people, we are ungovernable. The whole point of we the people is that we should represent and govern ourselves. That comes from God. That's not something that our forefathers came up with. That's straight from the word of God, that we should govern ourselves. And the point is that we could be so strong in our unity, in our integrity, in our center, that none of this evil can prevail against us because they can't persuade us or move us from our own moral foundation. And that's my take on the whole thing. And that's why all of this is important.
Yeah. No,
And it's
absolutely.
It's because a lot of us don't know the truth.
That's right. And I was just going to say that, Spaz, is that if more people would call out the lies and hold people accountable for the lies and make everybody realize what they're doing and what you're believing is complete falsehoods, I think this country would unify much quicker.
Yeah.
Much quicker. Abortion is one of those lies that people are told that can be easily persuaded.
Right.
You know?
First change the word.
That's right.
Where did the word abortion come from? I mean, aren't you killing something?
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
To abort it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Abort. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean. Yeah.
And keep in mind too that we're also, and I think a lot of people don't recognize or talk about this, is that there's also the lie of omission.
Mm.
When we don't tell something, that's the lie of omission, and we have a lot of that going on. And I would argue even further that the biggest lie of omission is our history, is our truth, is our education to our children. That is also the lie of omission. All of these lies are designed to separate and divide us and to ultimately destroy us, because at the end of the day, when you get past the emotional part of politics, I feel this and that should be that or whatever else, and you step back and you just break it down analytically. All right, so the left believes this is good, believes this is bad, believes this, you do the pros and cons list, right?
Yeah.
And you just scientifically, analytically, you break everything down to pros and cons. The left is for this, they're against that, they're neutral on this or whatever. When you break the whole list down, you realize when you look at everything in its entirety, leftism is the worship of failure.
Basically.
They want everything to fail, including themselves. That's the sad part about it. They even want themselves to fail. And that's the truth that we've got to figure our way around.
It's very hard to convince people of that what they're looking at is a failing option. Over the time, it's going to fail.
Yeah.
Short-term gains are not what you want to look for. You want to look for long-term gains. And like you said, their long-term outlook is failure. Because if you look back on history, there are no communists or socialist countries that were successful. Yet they still push communism and socialism.
The only communist and or even Marxist or fascist or whichever ist you want to use, because everybody should understand this, is that even Hitler, who was the greatest example of fascism, and I know we talk about him a lot, but if you look at if you look at his economic, domestic status, like if you went back and looked at his books, the only way he was able to keep going was by injections of money from outside sources, primarily from the United States of America. IBM supported him, Rockefeller, Ford. That's where he got all his money to operate. Without those subsidies, they fail. China, without subsidies, fails. Cuba, without subsidies, fails. They can't be self-reliant. No communist or fascist or whatever authoritarian regime is able to exist without subsidy. They can't stand on their own. None of them can. And it's been the truth throughout history, and that's the reality of all of it.
Yeah, that's an absolute fact. And because the United States can print money at will out of thin air. Those people think, based on the subsidies rules that you just said, that we can subsidize ourselves. Just keep doing it. We can keep subsidizing ourselves indefinitely. That would support all these social programs that these people want. But eventually, it may be 100 years from now, but eventually the bill is going to come due. And everything will fail.
Here's the funny thing about that. If we could print money out of thin air, then who do we owe the national debt to?
Maybe we should ask Jerome Powell that. Because he did an interview not too long ago that says that, well, we sell bonds or we just make it up digitally. And he said that in an interview on air. They just make it up digitally. The Federal Reserve.
So,
how can you just make it up digitally?
When we need money for the federal government to operate, the federal government does not get the tax money that was paid.
No.
So the Federal Reserve, that is not owned or operated by the United States of America in any way, shape, or form, they operate singularly and in of themselves separately from the United States, puts in a request and says that, hey, we want you to print some more of that free money and make it rain in the Capitol.
Yep.
And so they do. Then we use that money. We use that money. Here's how it works. They print the money. We use it. We send it out. We spread it around. We pay all the hookers and the prostitutes and the coke dealers and everything else according to the rules of the Biden regime. And then a couple baby mamas get paid in between. Don't fret.
Yeah.
I mean, normally I give my money to charity, but if she's not working, I give it to Destiny.
Absolutely.
But it's a joke. I don't really do that. So here's the thing. That money gets circulated. It goes out into the circulation. It goes out into the ether and gets circulated around, and all the magic happens and people trade hands, and AIDS and stripper ass get rubbed in all the money and everything else, and a little bit of cocaine on every $100 bill before it comes all the way back around.
Come on, man.
And get paid. I know, I'm telling the secrets, man. I'm telling the secrets. So it gets paid and it comes all the way back around, and it gets paid in the form of taxes. Taxes go back to where? Where do the taxes go? When we pay tax money, when we pay billions as a nation, we pay billions in taxes. Where does that go?
It's interest on debt.
Right, but it doesn't go back to the federal government. It goes to pay a debt based on money printed out of thin air. But who's claiming the debt? You see, that's the part that nobody talks about. Who's claiming the debt? Who are we paying the debt to for this money printed out of thin air? Well, all of that money is going back to London, and not London like the UK. I mean, London like the Bank of London, as in the Rothschilds and the Rothschild money mafia system. And they're prospering off the backs of Americans. So they get to use this money, do whatever they want with this money to now turn it into real commodities, whether we're talking about real estate, business investment, all that stuff. So now it's no longer thin money. Yeah, they're transferring it into gold. So their monopoly money that they printed, they're now taking real product from us, real commodity, real estate, real business ownership, all of it. They're taking all of that, slowly funneling off American prosperity. The ownership of America, they're funneling it off little by little by little by little. And most of America has no clue that that's how the system works.
Yeah.
They're stealing us with our own money, off the sweat of our own brow. We are working hard so that they can have what we're working for.
See, I used to think that, you know, because there's a lot of people who don't, you know, it's kind of hard, you know, because I feel like what I do is I work. You know, I built some steps today. I had to cut shit. I had to lift shit. I had to, you know, I changed the world, literally. And some other people, you know, they don't do that. And I remember I used to think, well, that ain't work. But then I remember, you know, that ain't working. That's the way you do it, right? Your money for nothing and your chicks
Chicks are free.
Well, you know, you got to think, you know, maybe they got the right idea. Maybe I got the wrong idea. Maybe I should just stop changing the fucking world. You know, I'm gonna stop doing this shit. Maybe I should just do what they do.
Right.
You know, just like I've been thinking about. You know what? I no longer accept cash. Gold and silver only. You don't think I'm worth it? Oh, where am I going to get gold and silver? Find the fuck out. I mean, it ain't that hard.
Go to the pawn shop
or whatever. You can buy it online. Have it shipped to your door. Amazon.
You know, I have a friend. I have a friend that sells coins, and he goes to the, of all places, he goes to the flea market. And here where I live, we have a flea market that takes you all day to walk. I mean, this place is, we actually have two of them, and they're freaking huge, like anything and everything you could want. I mean, there's retailers, there's produce suppliers, everybody in this flea markets, but he goes in and he sets up and he sells, well, primarily coins, like antique coins. And I'm a coin nerd. That's why him and I are friends. I absolutely love, you know, history. And it's fascinating when you can hold it in your hand, when you can hold something that you know is 200 years old, 300 years old. Yeah, I have bunches of those.
I love them too.
Right. So the thing is, you know, one of the things that we talk about, because I always ask him about business, because we kind of gauge what's going on in society by the business we're doing. I mean, that's, you know, especially, you know, a couple of men get together and talk about, you know, things that they like. Of course, we're going to talk about all of it. And more and more, he's selling, and primarily he sells gold ingots, like stamped, pressed ingots, not just a plain, you know, molded ingot, but these are, you know, designer ingots, I guess you'd call them, you know, troy ounces, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And more and more, he's selling out of those. He says he pays the majority of his bills off of those because he buys in bulk, so he gets room for a profit margin, and then he gets to sell them at cost because he buys in bulk, and he sells at current market value. He's not putting anybody on. He's a fair businessman, but he says he's paying all his bills just off of that, and you know what he makes out of the, you know, the antique coins and the collectibles and etc. is now turning into his gravy money, which he does pretty good on that as well. And this is at a flea market, and everybody knows that this is where you go find this guy. So he's there. He's at a different flea market each Sunday. So if you want to go find him, you have to know which Sunday he's going to be at your town. And here's the thing about it is that there's always a line to this guy. I mean, despite the pawn shops and everything else, there's always a line. When he shows up and sets up first thing when the doors open, he's the guy that's busy. America is losing faith in the dollar bill. America is trying to hold on to what little value they have left. So they're trying to trade their value in now before it's gone. Because here's the thing, most people that, you know, pay attention to, you know, like the history of economics and everything else in the United States, right now, the dollar is worth exactly 2 cents of what the dollar was in 1945.
Oh yeah,
2 cents.
And that's the plan. That was always the plan.
Yep.
It's astounding.
Well, I don't think it's astounding. I think it's an absolute masterpiece. Because here we fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, so they say.
Yeah.
right? They put that worm on the hook, and we bit.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're just gonna have to we're just gonna have to ride it out.
Well, I think the thing is that us as content creators, one of the greatest things we can do is to educate everybody on the fact that this is going on. Most people, it's like I talked about before, Pete, you and I talked about patterns, like recognizing rattlesnakes. You notice the patterns. Pretty soon your subconscious is used to those patterns. You don't even have to think, you don't have to be consciously watching for patterns, and your subconscious is like, whoa, stop, danger,
Exactly.
don't go over there. There's a pattern that we know is not good. So I mean, that's where we're at now. The greatest thing that we can do for each other is train each other to those patterns. We can encourage each other to unity. No, before anybody said, because I've had this a lot lately. No, I don't believe that we're going to unify this entire nation 100%. I believe that there is always going to be a percentage of lunatics and morons who just, no matter how simple and slow you talk for them, you can even write it slow because they can't read fast, and they're still not going to get it. They're just not going to get it. There's some people out there that it doesn't matter what you tell them because they don't care about the right or wrong of it. They just want to, whatever you say, they're going to say the opposite of, because they just, they're prone to contention and they can't stop. So we have to accept that there's a certain amount of the populace who's going to be that. But if the majority of us can figure out how to work together as a whole and be a nation again, that's where we're going to find our strength. That's where, none of what any of our government people are going to, they're not going to be able to break us, because whatever they throw at us, we're not going to be divided arguing with each other. That's what's been making all of this happen to begin with. That's the foundational problem. All of it is, if we reestablish our unity, we reestablish our foundation.
Absolutely.
And
And
no, I'm sorry. The only way we're going to do that is with truth, because
Absolutely.
the reason we're still divided is we're still, they asked somebody over in China, why don't you watch the news? And they said, well, here in China, we already know it's propaganda. America still hasn't figured it out yet.
We're getting there, though.
We're getting there. Right.
That's right. All right, guys. On that note, I'm going to end this show for tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that, but
I love you. I appreciate you. I don't care what I wrote on the bathroom wall about you. You're still my buddy.
thank you so much. I appreciate it. Spaz, is there something I need to know that you need to call me about?
Oh, yeah. Because we had this talk before about ivermectin and fenbendazole. Me, you, and Warrior have had this conversation.
Yes, we have.
And but more than once. And you told us, where you stand on that more than once. And, you already know where we're coming from. Right? Okay. And I know where you're coming from, and, to each their own. So yeah, I mean, look, Salty's only got good intentions for you. He wants you,
I know.
Just explore whatever fucking works, because
Absolutely.
we live in a world of lies and nobody knows jack shit anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
So
no worries.
That was it. We care about you, and
yeah, I got it.
What he said, we care about you.
Amen.
Tomorrow night, you have the Moms for Liberty on.
Right.
Okay, so tomorrow, tomorrow, I'm not doing a show in the morning. Hopefully, I will be home in time because I have to go to UCLA tomorrow for a CAT scan. I will be home in time to run that show on my show.
So if you want to set everything up, Pete, set up all your show links and everything, put your streams together.
I'm just going to share your stream.
Well, I was
For
going
me.
to say, right, if you want to, whatever you got to set up for that,
Uh,
because right now you're sharing my stream back to me, but we got to
Yeah.
do it in reverse. I need your
Yes.
stream keys and I'll plug them in. So if you want to set everything up and then, and Pill, just message me your RTMP server and the stream key,
okay.
and I'll plug them in. I'm already set up for it, so all I need to do is plug your keys in, and they're ready to go. I have a
Okay.
couple other people that are going to simulcast as well. We're going to try to make it as big of a show as we can, because Moms for Liberty, this is an important conversation to have. And if you would, everybody in the chat, invite everybody you can to be here tomorrow night as well, because we're
Yeah.
going to be paying attention to the chats. We're going to try to get some of the comments and conversation into the show. But I think, like I said, I think it's going to be a big deal. I've seen this lady work before. She's fantastic. So I'm really excited about this.
Okay. Yep. So that'll work. Okay. So thank you guys. I appreciate you being here. Sorry I had to cut it short. I just can't sit anymore.
You're all good, my friend. You are all
Sweep the
good.
leg, man. Sweep
I'm
the leg.
going. All right. So I will see everybody tomorrow night, unless I get stuck in the CAT scan machine. I'm a big dude. It happens.
Right.
Alrighty, I'm just gonna end the stream. Thank you for all the gold pills, red pills, blue pills, and everybody on all the platforms, including Reverend Rants. Thank you guys, and I will
Air Grease.
love you guys. I'll see you all Thursday for sure.
Yes.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.